Let's get it. All praises to the Most High. I had a great thought I wanted to share today. And I did want to say, I don't know how much longer the Most High is going to allow me to do these recordings. So we're going to make the best of it while we can. And we're going to see if we can come out of this top shirt without feeling too much of a cool breeze on our body. But yes, indeed. As I was saying, I don't know how much longer the Most High is going to allow us to do these recordings. So we must make the best of them while we can. Because well, I'm going to just read this. We're at 8.8 miles so far. And I'm going to pause that. Y'all remind me to cut that back home before we get going. Because I'll forget. And I thank the Most High for reminding me. Boy, my head is wet. But since we're right here in the sun, hopefully that wind won't mess with me. And as I said, I'm going to read over my notes. And the thought for today is called, It's a Small Window. It's a small window. It's a small window. It's a small window is the whisper that awoke me this morning. This was after I asked for more time before I would get up. Like we all do at times. We want to hit the snooze button. But like the Most High told me last week, he said, don't hit the snooze button on my time. Thank you, Most High, for reminding me of that. And that was our thought for that day. Don't hit the snooze button on the Most High's time. It's a small window instantly resonated in my mind as a sharp warning to myself to get up and to get moving, but also to those that might hear this thought for today. After I wiped my eyes, made my bed, and started scanning my clothes for the proper gear according to the weather, I received an alert on my phone, so I sat down and read it. I was very briefly taken aback by the news of Colin Powell, the former United States Secretary of State, but came back to the reality of the words the Most High had just spoken into my spirit. I do hate of hearing of anyone's death, however, that of a Hebrew is especially troubling. This was all the more of a reason for me to put a pep in my step and get somewhere so Abba could break this idea down to me completely. After dressing and making my coffee, I sat down for my secret place chat with the Most High. As I got comfortable, I heard a voice approaching my front door. It was my very kind and respectable mailman, which I've mentioned on our thoughts for today a time or two, but a time for sure. He had, I was trying to get some packages off, and I caught him around the corner from my home. So I asked him if I could give him the packages. He said, of course. So this man got out of his truck, walked around his truck, because he come in from the passenger side of his mailman truck, walked around the truck, came to my passenger door, and said, I'll take them for you, sir. He grabbed them out of my passenger seat and walked back around his door, and then he stopped, put the packages down, turned around and said, is there anything else, sir? And that really impressed me about that young fella. I said, yes, it is. Can I have your supervisor's phone number? And he was very kind and gave it to me. Matter of fact, he gave me 2. And I said, don't be alarmed. I just want to call somebody and let them know what a great worker you are, a great help and kind gentleman you were to me today, and always is. And as I was saying, I opened the door to speak and to grab my mail. And to my surprise, I received a letter from my mother. It was a small greeting card with a little bird on the front of it with musical notes coming from its mouth, as if it was singing. It was called A Little Note of Thanks. Pardon me. As I opened it and read the 8 words, it really made a stream of emotions flood my heart. It read, so thankful you're in my family. Love, Mom. These words made me think of today's thought and how I wanted to pass along this small word of encouragement and still a warning. It's a small window. Pardon me. And by the Most High giving me those 2 confirmations to this word or this idea for today, I really thought that I'd share each one. One was the death of this man, Colin Powell. One that a lot of people looked up to as the first black man or Hebrew man to hold the office he held. In a few places, I do believe, but definitely the first Secretary of State. But there's a lot of flaws that come to mind, or one major flaw in his I wouldn't say repertoire, but in his legacy, I guess you would say. And as I looked over it, I said to myself, well, you can't always blame the servant for the master's mistakes. Because as I looked over the news of his passing, I saw that the former president of his time, one of the Bushes, he said that he was very saddened to hear of the death of Powell, and that he was a great public servant. Pardon me. However, all that I could see when I read over that was he was a great servant. And I care not to delve too far into that, but most of us may have an idea of what I'm thinking. Anyway, it was like I said in my notes, it was a sad situation to hear of for an instant. Like I said, any person's death isn't a happy occasion. Even if they're your enemy, you're glad that the heartache that they was causing you will be over, yet and still you're not happy to see anybody pass on unless you have a knowing that they lived a life. Like I said, it was a short-lived surprised as I was taken aback by the information, which we all are when we hear somebody famous pass. But to hear of a man of his stature pass and his legacy, you would think, I would have expected that man to live a whole lot longer than them 84 years I believe they say he lived. At least a few more years, but as we all know, like I said, it's a short window. And then my mother sent me that letter and said, I'm so glad you're in my family. And I began to put the two of them together and came up with the idea that it's a short window of time for us and our family and those of our loved ones, and that we really need to seek the Most High concerning our loved ones. And I would believe more than anything else, pray for them and ask the Most High to intervene in their lives. Because as I was speaking to a op yesterday, he was telling me that his mother had taken the jab. And that was the case with Colin Powell. He was fully vaccinated, and they were saying that it may be a stepping stone for the anti-vaxxers to use as an excuse for not taking the vax, because this fellow took it in not too long after passed. But with all that said, I just wanted to say that it's a short window or a small window. Like the Most High told me, it's a small window. And I don't think I finished the idea because he didn't have me write it like that. But I'm sure we all know what I mean when I say it's a short window or a small window. Opportunity. And the Most High gave me a thought 2 weeks ago that all that stands between us is air and opportunity. And most of the time when we heard that, we knew it was some scrapping getting ready to go down. Especially from my era. It's when we're using that phrase to try, I believe, on the most part, to back someone down. Or you really mean, come on and get it. But I just want to put this idea out there today. And I'm not trying to sway your opinion on what your short window is or what opportunities you're facing that you need to capitalize on before that small window of opportunity closes. And I'll leave that up to you and the Most High. However, the main thing he placed on my heart was family. That we should really fast and pray for our family members and ask that the Most High would intervene in their lives and to give them eyes to see, ears to hear, a heart to perceive, and then a mouth to speak. Because a lot of times the case is, as Yahusha said, they have eyes yet they don't see, they have ears and yet they don't hear, and they have a stony heart. So we know the end result of that, or what all that equals, is a mouth that speaks negativity and the wrong thing, which creates our reality. And let me share a script. And it's Psalms 27 and 14. This is one of them. It said, wait patiently for the Most High. Be brave and courageous. Yes, wait patiently for the Most High. And then John 17 and 3, it says, and this is life eternal, that they might know thee, the only true Elohim, and Yahushua HaMashiach, whom you have sent. And see, this is the prayer and our cry for today, that our family members will get to know the Most High through Yahushua HaMashiach, Jesus Christ. In this small window of time that we all have left to get to know him, and to know him through the fellowship of his suffering, like it says in the scripts. But we're not going to tarry. Most High willing, we're going to take our opera break, jump back on this bike and get our time in. And as always, we love y'all. Stay up and keep pushing forward in the right direction. Shalom.